the Sentner Academy. Joins me right now, Layla Sentner. Layla, thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, Dr. Gina. Thank you so much for having me today.
Now, Layla, tell us about the policies surrounding COVID that you have implemented at your school and why you were more comfortable doing it this way.
So, starting September, when we opened school, I did things very differently. I allowed mask exemptions, so I would say about 80% of our kids don't wear masks. I didn't put plexiglass around the desks of the kids. I did not socially distance the kids. I allowed them to be kids. My main focus and priority was their emotional and mental well-being. I studied the data. I saw that kids had a 99.9974% recovery rate. I spoke to a pediatric immunologist of a children's hospital nearby, and I went over with him. He had an analysis of 3,500 children's COVID cases. And I learned from his analysis at the time that only one child had passed away. And even though one child is too many, I looked at the positive side, which was this child had a lot of comorbidities and a lot of other issues. So the verdict at that time was, and it is at this time as well, if kids recover from this well. Kids are not asymptomatic spreaders like people would have you believe. I'm actually a walking study to prove that we haven't had any issues. We haven't had one teacher go to the hospital because of getting sick with COVID, and we haven't had one child go to the hospital because they caught COVID. So what all of the other schools are doing right now, which are really treating children like they're in a prison system, there is a school right up the street from our school where the children aren't even allowed to speak to each other during lunchtime. They sit 6 feet apart. I mean, in my mind, this is inhumane, and this is what you do to prisoners to punish them. So we are punishing our children, and we are not thinking about their emotional well-being. And I believe the reason why schools are doing this is they're, one, blindly following the CDC, and two, they're protecting themselves so that way they're not, they're not having an increase in cases, therefore they're on the news, or they're protecting themselves from a parent potentially suing them because their child got COVID at school. For me, I don't look at liability. I look at the wellness and the safety of the children. So I got a lot of heat for the decisions that I made early on from a handful of parents that wanted the plexiglass. They wanted the children in masks 8 hours a day. And it was something that I just couldn't do. I'm happy I didn't do it because our children don't have the same anxiety level that the other kids do at the other schools. I mean,
right.
I have some great examples of what's happening to kids emotionally. I shared this story with others that I had one child, 5 years old, come to our school, and we do these shadow days where they get to spend a full day with us. Well, anyways, the child was in a mask. The whole family was in a mask. They came from a school where all the kids are wearing masks and socially distancing. They're not allowed to hold each other or anything. So the child arrived at 9 a.m. By 9:30, we had to call this girl's mother to pick her up because she had a complete anxiety and panic attack. She was sitting in a room with 15 kids.
And we're hearing this all the time. Yeah, and we're hearing this all the time. And we're also hearing about drug use, about depression, about suicide in children. What ages are the children in your school, Layla?
So right now, we start from pre-K2 and we go to 8th grade, but in 2 years, we're actually opening high school. So if there are any amazing potential principals for my high school that are looking for a job, we've got some great job openings. I'm looking for somebody.
I heard that the minute the news hit that you were doing all of this, you were deluged not only with applications for students who want to go to there, whose parents want their children to have an opportunity to be someplace like your school, but you were also inundated with applicants from teachers and administrators who want to be part of a school like this. So that people who have had the vaccine. What do we actually know about this experimental vaccine and what ramifications could be caused by being around someone who's just had it? Quickly as you can.
As fast as I can. Unfortunately, there's not a lot known. There are a lot of claims that were being made. In fact, Facebook had a group with over 20,000 people, and they were all sharing their stories. and then Facebook censored and took down that page. Right now, there's a page on Telegram that's called Menstrual Cycles. You can look it up. People are also sharing their stories there. It's just so many reports and claims are being made that this needs to be researched and analyzed by the medical community to determine if there is an issue or not. We can't just gaslight this or hide it or call me names because I'm bringing up the issue. You know, we need to address it, and we can't say it's a conspiracy theory because these are real people with real claims and real incidences of things that are happening to them. We can't discount that.
No, I completely agree, and I wish we had a lot more time with you, Layla. But